There hasn't been too many memorable playoffs in the 2020s, but one of the best series we've seen in a long time happened in 2023, and no one really talks about it. What if I told you one of Curry's hardest series didn't happen in the finals? It didn't happen in the Western Conference Finals. No, it happened in the first round. It wasn't even against a championship team. No, it was against the Sacramento Kings, who are a young, hungry, and highly skilled team. This series, it was for more than just a ring. It was for pride.
Mitchell on Curry, slammed on the brakes. Oh my goodness! Curry!
It was for respect. It was for honor.
Klay got hung up in the air, step for three. Oh, it's wet! What a shot by Steph Curry!
Golden State was desperately trying to hold on to their crown as the best team in Northern California and weren't ready to hand over the torch. The reality was, the Warriors, they didn't respect the Kings. And the Kings knew this. And since the Warriors weren't going to just willingly hand down that torch, the Kings' plan, they were going to snatch it from them. Guys, but before we get into the video, I would really appreciate it if you like the video and subscribe to the channel. It will really help this small channel grow. And now let's get into the video. This is the series that shocked the world. Let's start with the Warriors. Entering the 2020 playoffs, the Warriors were the reigning champs after defeating the Celtics in the finals. But opposite of what any reigning champ would want, the Warriors' next season would be filled with trials and tribulations. In the offseason, news broke that Draymond Green and Jordan Poole got in an altercation, and Green ended up punching Poole in the face. This started an intense chemistry between the teammates that actually ended up trickling into their regular season. Curry later in the season also ends up getting injured and missed 26 games in the regular season. The Warriors ended up finishing the season with a 44-38 record and earning the 6th seed spot. But in that, the Warriors started to receive a lot of criticism because fans started to notice when they were on the road, they were a different team. When it came to their road record, they were 11-30. Which was super concerning for fans. But everyone knows the Warriors' home court is one of the hardest arenas to play in because of how passionate the fans are. The Kings, on the other hand, they had a much different story. Unlike the Warriors, the Kings hadn't been to the playoffs since 2006, which was about 16 years ago at the time. In 2006, the Kings were led by Mike Bibby and were able to secure the 8th seed, but they were eliminated in the first round by the Spurs. This time around, the Kings finished the season as the 3rd seed in the West and actually led the league in offensive rating. On top of that, their coach Mike Brown won Coach of the Year too. So honestly, the Kings were looking nice, and they were actually starting to build that winning culture for the first time in a long time. For the longest time when it came to Northern California, the Warriors are seen as the winning franchise, and sadly, the Kings aren't. The Kings were determined to change that narrative. The Warriors were not willing to hand down that torch. As the playoffs began, though the Warriors had a rough season, everyone was still predicting them to come out on top. Honestly, entering this series, no one can see De'Aaron Fox leading his team past Curry and the Warriors. Entering Game 1, the Kings had home court advantage and the fans were going crazy. But as we know, the Warriors are champions and they kept their composure and started off strong.
First field goal. Leading scorer for this Kings team. Steph relocates in the corner. That's what he does.
See, it's when he releases the ball that the game actually begins.
But the Kings kept the score close. In fact, every possession was a battle on both ends.
Especially at home. Skip pass to Murray for three. Got the rebound. Blocked by Green. Sabonis with the board and the putback. Poole off the Draymond screen. Draymond blocked by Alex Len. Oh, he packed it.
The game remained close the entire time, with both teams hitting big shots.
Klay got hung up in the air. Step for three. Oh, it's wet.
At the end of the 4th quarter, with 10 seconds remaining, with the Kings leading by 1 point, 124-123, Klay Thompson shot a chest pass over to Wiggins, who was open in the corner. Andrew Wiggins ended up missing the 3 that would have put the Warriors up. So the Kings won Game 1, led by De'Aaron Fox's 38 points and Malik Monk's 32 points off the bench. Going into Game 2, it was safe to assume the Warriors knew the Kings now came to play. The game started off as Game 1. Multiple lead changes, but as we saw in Game 1, De'Aaron Fox took over. In fact, in the 3rd quarter, the Kings had a 13-point lead at one point. But the Warriors do what they do best, and that's make comebacks. But then it happened. the infamous Draymond Green moment when he stomped on the chest of Sabonis. Draymond received a flagrant 2 and got ejected. This hurt the Warriors like it always does, but they ended up tying the game in the fourth. For every late big shot the Warriors made, the Kings responded with their own, and it ended with a dagger by Davion Mitchell. The Kings walked away with Game 2 and protected home court, with De'Aaron Fox having 24 points and Sabonis having 24 points and 9 rebounds. Curry had a solid 28 points following a 30-point game in Game 1, but it was clear it wasn't going to be enough to stop the Kings. The series was now 2-0 Kings, and the Warriors knew they needed to force their presence on the defensive end to even have a chance in this series. Game 3 was a huge game that the Warriors needed to win. If the Warriors had lost this game and went down 3-0, statistically speaking, they would have lost the series. But to make matters worse, they would have to play this game without Draymond Green due to him getting suspended for a game for the flagrant 2 he committed on Sabonis.
My leg got grabbed. Second time in 2 nights. Referees just watch it. I gotta land my foot somewhere.
Starting the game, the Warriors were locked in. They played like their season was truly on the line. They were blocking shots, grabbing rebounds, and Curry hit big threes. At the half, the Warriors led by 12. In the second half, the Warriors did not let off the gas and showed the world why they were such a dominant home court team all season. The Warriors ended up blowing out the Kings by 13 points, which was the largest deficit so far in the series. Curry had 36 points and Looney had 20 rebounds, with 9 of them being offensive rebounds. He was a monster that game. Game 4 was still going to be in the Warriors' home court, and the Kings now knew that they needed to be more aggressive on grabbing those boards, and Sabonis needed help in that area. Game 4 was electric. Both teams were going back and forth with lead changes. About midway in the first quarter, Curry got an and one.
4 3-point shooting.
Mitchell all over Steph. Got it back from Green. Floater.
And right after that, Curry hit a contested 3. This started the infamous momentum that the Warriors are known to have. But surprisingly, the Kings were playing with a composure you really only see from championship teams. At the end of the third quarter, the Warriors had a 10-point lead on the Kings. Malik Monk off the bench hit 2 big shots in the fourth, followed by big shots from Fox, including a contested 3 with 40 seconds remaining that brought the Kings to being down only by 1. This time, the roles were reversed, and just like in Game 1, a game-winning shot was attempted. But this time, it was from Harrison Barnes. It was a corner 3, but he missed. This brought the Warriors back in the series. It was now 2-2. Curry had 32 points and 5 rebounds. Klay Thompson had 26 points. Fox dominated this game and had 38 points and 9 rebounds, but it wasn't enough. And what's worse, bad news was about to arise. Game 5 was back in Sacramento, and the Kings absolutely needed to protect home court or the series would be over. But bad news surfaced that Fox fractured his left index finger, but he still played knowing it was now or never. The first half started competitive, but Klay Thompson came out the gate not missing. I mean, this was vintage Klay. And when he plays like this, the Warriors are almost impossible to beat. And Green, who agreed to come off the bench for the second straight game, was also balling. While the Kings did make a comeback late in the fourth and almost tied the game, Fox, Monk, and Sabonis just needed more help from the rest of the team to seal the deal. The Warriors ended up winning Game 5 and now lead the series 3-2. Game 6 was back in Golden State, which is the Kings' worst nightmare. Entering Game 6, the Kings knew they had their backs against the wall, and they played like it. Malik Monk was huge off the bench and had to be a key scorer for the team because Fox was playing with a fractured finger. But the Kings played great defense and limited Klay and Poole that night. The Kings weren't missing, and their determination showed.
He got fouled.
Monk again. Malik Monk with 2 huge threes and a lead back up to 11.
The Kings walked away victors that game and forced a Game 7. Fox had 26 points and Monk had 28 points, which was huge for the team. Game 7 was back in Sacramento, and to be honest, no one really expected the Kings to even take the Warriors to Game 7. Game 7 was the Stephen Curry and Looney show. Curry played in one of the best Game 7s we've seen in NBA history. Not to mention, Looney was a rebounding machine. And as we've seen earlier in the series, if the Kings get rebounded the way they did, they'll probably lose. And that's exactly what happened. Looney grabbed 21 rebounds that game, and 10 of them were offensive rebounds, but Curry couldn't be stopped. The Warriors ended up winning Game 7 by 20 points. Curry ended the game with 50 points. It was honestly disappointing to see the Kings lose the way they did, And I think a big contributing factor to that was Fox's injury. Here's the reality of the series. The Kings played so well that they put themselves on the map. And though they lost, they really did shock the world by how well they played. And sadly, since then, we haven't seen the same level of play from the Kings. Trades, injuries, and just a different team is to blame. But in my opinion, though the Kings lost this series, this will forever be one of the hardest series the Warriors have to play in. What do you guys think about this series? Did you watch it live? Let me know what you guys think. If you enjoyed this video, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.